Hey everyone! So applying for the lotteries and reservations for Expo Osaka 2025 is a nightmare. From navigating the complicated website to researching which ones require reservations and then booking, it's just overwhelming. So I went through the headache so that you don't have to. So in this video, I'm going to cover how to book and apply for the lotteries, which pavilions require reservations, some lottery strategies of how I won all my lottery choices, quick tip, book in the afternoon slots. And you'll also see which ones I want and which ones I'm going to book for the next lottery choices, and also how to use my free planning guide, which I created to plan out your lotteries and to organize your visit. Because when I went to the expo in Dubai in 2020, I wasted a lot of time by not planning ahead. So this time, I'm planning way ahead and sharing everything with you guys so that you don't make the same mistakes that I did. All right, so let's dive in. One thing that seems to confuse a lot of people is the reservation lottery system for the pavilions at Expo, such as if I don't win any lottery or reserve anything, will I still be able to see anything at all? So the good news is not all pavilions require to enter lotteries or the reservations. So currently about 17 pavilions do, including some newly added ones like Korea and Italy. And then there are still 130 other pavilions you can visit without any reservation. So if you're feeling super confused about it all, don't stress. You can still enjoy the expo. And it sounds really complicated to enter the lottery or make reservations, but it's actually not that hard. I've created a separate, super simple video explaining how to buy tickets, enter the lotteries, make the reservations, in which I'm showing here. So I'll link the video below and you can check it out. So next I'm gonna go over, which pavilions and events that do require reservations. It's still unclear if all of them only go by reservations or they'll allow queuing. But based on my experience in Dubai, Japan was the only pavilion that didn't allow queuing and required a reservation only. All the other ones allowed queuing. But for the really popular ones like Japan or Gundam, I suspect reservations may be your only option, but we won't know for sure until people have started going to the expo and basically report back. So I made this Google sheet that basically cross-references everything that I just showed you of all the pavilions that require reservations, as well as just all the pavilions and events in general. So in this column, these are the ones that require reservations. And you can click filter and just uncheck the blanks and just leave the ones with yes. So these are all the ones that require reservations. Of course, this is accurate at the time of posting. They may add some more pavilions in the future that do require reservations, so I'll try to keep this updated as accurately as I can. These are also color coordinated according to which section they are. For example, in this section, this is the empowering sector that's in green. So it's also easily identifiable and just arranged by their section. And here, this column, these are the ones I put in for my 2-month lottery choices. So I just put the date on when I'm gonna apply for them, and I'm going 6 times. So I had 6 different 2-month lotteries that I chose, and then I put the ones I won on that column right there. So I won all of these choices by booking the afternoon slots, as you can see here. I'll go over how to use this in more detail later on in the video. I just wanted to give you a quick look of which pavilions require the reservations and how to sort them. So now we know which pavilions require reservations, let's talk about strategies and how I won all my lotteries. So when you're entering your lottery choices, you get 5 choices, 5 time slots. And what people don't realize is that you only get 1 out of the 5. So lotteries that I can enter at the 2-month mark, and I want every single one of them, either one of my first or two choices for the time frame. I mean, that includes Japan and Gundam. And the reason is if you're going to choose all 5 different pavilions, you're only going to win 1 out of the 5. So this really increases your chances of winning. And the next strategy I wanted to share with you guys is when we attended the expo in Dubai, we found that booking the afternoon slots was a smart strategy. And the reason is that the expo tends to be less crowded in the morning as well as when it's closing to closing time. So when you first go in, especially with the pavilions that don't require reservations, it's not likely that there's already going to be a 2-hour wait in the morning. So, for example, Germany, that was one of the really popular pavilions. We went right when it opened. And then later on in the day, like closer to the afternoon, it was a 2-hour wait. Just because the crowds tend to get busier as the day goes on. So you can see in my Google Sheet here that all the pavilions that I entered were actually around the 2 o'clock or 2:30 in the early in the afternoon. And I kind of timed this so it'll be after lunch, then I can have enough time for me to walk over to the pavilions and I've gotten all my choices. And this will be great because in the morning I'll just go to the ones that are going to be really popular that either do or do not require reservations I can just queue for. And in the afternoon, I'll have the other pavilions that I've made reservations for. And then also closer to the evening time, I'll go to some other popular pavilions. So the next question that's commonly asked is which pavilion should you apply for? So this is really your personal choice. Like you probably want to go to your home pavilion. So in this Google Sheet, what you can do is you can search and filter by reservations, which I've done here, and you can see which ones that do require reservations. So since you have the 2-month lottery and the 7-day lottery and then the same-day lottery, you can filter based on these ones and then choose the ones that appeal to you. So no one really knows right now which would be the most coolest pavilions to visit right now since it's not open. So we'll have more information, when people start posting things online. So you can see these are some of my picks that I've chosen. So South Korea's gonna be one of them that's gonna be really cool. It was really cool in Dubai. The UAE was really cool and had a really long lineup. Italy was cool because they had reconstructed David, like entire statue of David. And then of course Gundam in Japan I also have on there. So these are some of the ones that I've chosen. Next thing I want to talk about is now you know how to book the reservations or lotteries, which one did you book for, and now let's talk about planning, which is a crucial step. So I made this mistake when I went to Dubai. I didn't realize how big this was. And at first glance, this looks very overwhelming, right? But let's break it down. So you have 2 different gates here. So this is the east gate in which, the subway and where if you arrive by a subway, you will enter through here. And the west gates if you arrive by bus and the shuttles here. And then this is the giant ring. And then all the other pavilions and marketplaces and everything's around here. So this is the legend. So let's start with C, the connecting live zone. So this is color coded in like blue. And you see Nepal is in C01 around here. And then Luxembourg is next. So you can see that all the C's are ranging from here to on this side. So one of the biggest mistakes you can make is there are so many pavilions spread across a huge area. If you randomly pick reservations or the pavilions that you want to check out without checking the map, you can end up with a schedule like this. For example, Japan, I think it's in E0, so the East Gate here, or Kansai, let's say Kansai. Actually, Japan is E10, right? So Japan is here, the Japan Pavilion is here. Let's say you're here, and the next one you want to go to is Gundam, which is on the west side. So you're going to travel all the way over here. And then maybe the third one you want to visit is Kansai Pavilion, which is back in the east. So you're going to end up like zigzagging. So a more logical route is you want to go in a circular fashion, either to the left or right. And especially if you only have one day, then you want to really plan out which pavilions you want to see in a strategic and logical order. Maybe you want to go like Japan, Nepal, Belgium, or Italy, and then like in the circular fashion, right? Especially if you only have one day. If you have multiple days, then I would break up the zones. Like see all of Eastgate on one day, all the connecting live zones on another day. So I'm going 6 days, so I've broken it up into 6 different areas, and I'm going to hit up all the pavilions in this section in one day, in this section in one day. So this is why I created my planning guide, my Google Sheet that I shared with you earlier. So they show the location, and like I said, it's color coordinated. So like the green is color coordinated with the green here, P, they're all P's. If we zoom up here. This Expo map is small. All of these ones here. So this is how I'm planning my next lottery. So what I want to first do, if you want to use this, is click on File and make a copy. And then that way you can edit it on your own. I've already done the 2-month lotteries, and for the 7-day lottery, what I'll do is, so the 7-day lottery will only apply to the pavilions or events that require reservations. So what you're first going to do is filter by the ones that require reservation. So the only ones with yes, okay. And then I've already entered in which initially when I first applied, these are the ones I wanted to apply for. So again, I'm going 6 days. So I've entered 6 different lotteries, and then once I won, I put them in here. These are the ones that I won, and the timing. So you can see they're all like 2 o'clock-ish, except for the Spectacle of Air and Water because it's a nighttime thing. So this was at 8 o'clock, but all of them are around. Oh, we have a 1 o'clock one here. Since the Gundam one, the last one was at 2 o'clock. And then, so for example, May 7th, I am focusing on just like the E section. And so in the E section, I am planning to book for the Osaka Healthcare Pavilion. That seems really cool. So that's what I'm going to enter in when I come to the time for the 7-day lottery. And then there's another column here for same-day lottery. So the third time you can apply is on the day of the expo, 10 minutes after you enter. So another tip is go early so that you can have another greater chance of booking another reservation. And the other reason I suggest for booking an afternoon slot and not in the morning is just in case something happens, you can't get there at the time that you're supposed to get there in the morning, or there's a traffic accident or a subway breaks down, who knows, that if it's having it later on in the day, it just reduces your risk of missing it out completely. So back to the same day lottery, like after 10 minutes, after you enter the expo, 10 minutes later, you can book for the same day lottery. So I'm going to put in a couple of the ones that I want to book. So hopefully I win the 7-day lottery for this one, which I'm going to have the same strategy of choosing this pavilion for all 5 time slots. And then on the day of this one here, as well as I also probably want to go to this one here. So I'm just going to put in May 7th. And the next column here is date to visit, the ones that don't require lottery and reservation. So right now I only have a filter for the ones that require reservations. Yes, but there's also going to be maybe a lot in the East Wing that doesn't require. So I'm just going to include blanks and go to scroll down to E. The pop-up stage doesn't require one, and this one doesn't require. So if they don't require, since I have a whole day, I'll probably want to visit these ones as well. Okay, so the east wing here is actually pretty straightforward because there's actually not that many pavilions to see in this area. So let's go to, for example, the connecting zone. Let's go to the connecting zone. And you can see, just to reiterate, you can go in a logical fashion. Like, see Nepal, Luxembourg, and then, like, if time allows it, you could, go in chronological order. But, the expo is massive, so the chances of you seeing all the pavilions, unless you're there many, many times, is going to be slim. So we can apply the same logic with in the connecting zone. So I'm going to filter by just the reservations first for when I'm planning the 7-day lottery. So not that many pavilions that require reservations. So I've already won Australia for May 14. So the 7-day lottery, I'm going to do South Korea. And then the same day lottery, I'm going to choose Thailand. Okay. And then, so that will help me plan. And then for the date to visit, I'm gonna choose the blanks and then go into C which one that I want to go to. Egypt was also really cool, so so this was May 14th that I'm visiting this area, so I'm gonna put here May 14th. So I'm probably only gonna be able to see maybe just a couple, so I'm just gonna choose the ones that I'm interested in. So if you see here C23, these are all the countries in there, and that's usually like a bigger common area that's almost like a museum type of, they're showcasing some of the things from their country. So if we see here on the map, C23 is right here. So you can see it's just, so they don't have an actual building or pavilion. So you can hit up a lot of countries at once. And usually these are the ones that probably don't have a long lineup. So if you're in between reservations, you can go here. And then I probably want to see Indonesia was also cool. Okay, but you get my drift. So you can choose the ones, and then you can write some notes here, and in the end you can see by going on the map, okay, this is C16, and you can again go in chronological order as you go in. And of course, you can just plan to do the best that you can and plan as well as you can. And obviously things can happen, so we're just gonna try our best and plan it most efficiently, effectively as we can, and try to limit any wasted time by going back and forth. You don't want to be zigzagging everywhere, and you want to go in a circular fashion, in which the Osaka Expo 2025 is built that way. Going to link this below, and you can edit it. You can also see what I've input in if that's of any interest to you. So I hope that was helpful. Obviously, I'm not a guru at Google Sheets, and it's just a simple thing that I made by cross-referencing the expo map and making sure everything is as accurate as I can be. But, there could be some human errors, just saying. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful. And let me know in the comments below which pavilions that you're most excited to see or which ones you applied for. And also don't forget to subscribe, as we're going to be creating more content around the expo, especially when we go there in May, of which pavilions that you must see, as we'll have a better idea when it's actually opened, and where to eat and all that good stuff. All right, see you guys.